tall, so not the biggest barbarian, but I'm jacked.
To hair and braids.
We could put our parents in braids.
What if we put it into braids and then we wrapped it around and then we gave them the flowers sticking through it? And then what if we did this?
May I have another drink, please?
Yes, you may. And he goes over.
Put your hands up, it's better!
No. Sarah, roll a Constitution saving throw. Yes, you. I'm gonna fight you.
He's sort of you guys know who I am, right?
Yeah. Goggles.
You're Dr. Mole.
Dr. Robot.
What do you do?
Take a moment to try to stop laughing.
Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing with the other one.
Why not? It worked again.
Hating on Batman.
And I don't hate Batman, for the record. I hate the fandom of Batman.
Oh, cool. Okay,
That's the
that's
issue.
way more people.
It is. It's
To
a
hate.
lot, like actual human beings.
Were you gonna?
You need to rub this crap off your neck and not smell like me. Or Wolf at all. Just start rubbing his neck and just getting like...
I am fairly certain it doesn't matter what I smell like at this point.
To a feline. You have wolf's piss on you.
I'm just gonna point at my feline eyes.
I have some time.
You've just tuned in. We had the brilliant idea while we were fishing at the Dark Moon Festival.
Oh, jeez.
To do a dungeon with fishing poles equipped. Because why not? And so we drank all of the alcohol in our bags, and we equipped our fishing poles and our aquatic pets, and we went to do a dungeon.
I feel like I need to close out. So this was the end of our epic tale. What holds for next week as the heroes set sail? We may find more family, we may find where things start. All we know is to follow our heart. So our heroes set forth to pillage and to wander in the magical continent of wonder. We have one more question. I hope to not blunder. The question for you, dear friends. Do you wonder? Thank you guys. Indigo Connect.
That's the whole job description.
It's literally, we are live, everybody. Cameras were never adjusted, so what we're going to do is we are going to adjust some cameras.
Absolutely were. What kind of day are we having?
It's okay. Everyone is just... They're at my height.
Oh,
There you go there.
Oh, I got a clue.
There we go then.
Why don't we just go and then I fix them and we can get back.
And then we're going to adjust this right here. This will be good till intermission. Yeah!
Why don't we just go and I can fix them and we can get
All right, we'll be right back here in
All right.
just a second. guys so much. Sorry about that. We were having so much fun listening to our good friend of the channel, Call Sign Scarecrow, before the stream. If he is streaming and we're not, we highly recommend that you go over and give him some love. He does music and things of that sort. So, but welcome. It is Monday night, and it is not normally a night of D&D here on the channel, but it is tonight because it's 500 week. Woo! Where we are just kind of celebrating by doing what we would normally do, but with special one-shots and fun stuff like that. So thank you so much for tuning in. A few announcements before we get started. We've got lots of shows happening this week, all to thank you, our dear followers and viewers and people that have spent time sending the love our way and telling people about the channel, and so we cannot thank you enough. Tonight is a special one-shot where Ghrym goes and looks for friends and tries to find his little missing piece. Tomorrow night is going to be Wonderland. We learn a little bit more about Enwyn's destiny tomorrow night, one of the adventurers there. I'm really excited to dive into the mythos of Enwyn and the Sylvan people. So, and we're also going to meet an NPC, which I have built day 2 of the campaign, and I'm just now introducing. That has been sort of in the wings this whole time, waiting for the right moment, and I am very happy. He is based off of a cult horror movie, and one of my favorites, so I'm very excited to get him out in the open and in front of everyone, and he's going to help them make their prison sort of siege. So tune in for that on Tuesday. Wednesday night, there's nothing going on here, but Indigo Chameleon and I can be found over at the Plaster Dragon for Something Wicked This Way Comes. It is a modern day 5e game set in modern day Boston. I play a wizard there, and then she plays a druid there that is impetuous and jumps through portals. So tune in for that. Thursday night, we have a one-shot happening here. We have the Indigo Chameleon Explorers League. It's our first one-shot set in Neverland as we explore a portion of Neverland. You, in particular, might want to tune into that one as we get into some of the mythos of Neverland and learn a little bit more about the Tired. So, yes, we do love horror cult movies. So, yes, that is Thursday. On Friday, we go into Neverland. Today I poured over my monster manual, and I had this fight set up and the whole thing set up, and then I was like, oh, I don't know if it's too easy, so I bumped up the difficulty a little bit for Neverland. Then I was reminded that they're level 2. So I'm still going to keep it anyway. We'll see what happens. Tune in on Friday. It's going to be great. And that brings us to the end. But don't forget that every night that we stream this week, we're giving away one of these. A special Indigo Chameleon 500 coin. Ooh. It is pretty great. It is limited edition, and you have a limited amount of times to win one. So tonight you're going to do that. You're going to hang out in the chat with us, and then at the appropriate time, at the end of the stream, we will pick a winner, and that winner will be shipped one of these amazing coins. Hang out with us on our Discord. When we're not streaming, we're always sort of chatting and talking. I go to the audience for campaign suggestions and paths to choose, and there's also really fun memes, and there's an inspiration channel if you're looking for inspiration just to get through the day, or looking for artistic inspiration and things of that sort. So please go and look at that. And then we also have a merch store. You can go find water bottles, t-shirts. Indigo and I made an order, and then we decided to do a second order. So we're getting more t-shirts and more stuff because you can only wear a shirt for so long before you have to wash it. So please, it helps us, and then you can rep the brand and all that fun stuff. Hey, Alka Booze Bender. So I think that's it for announcements. Do we want to start the contest now? Do they know that they can...
It's all inputted.
Okay,
and I
so
can type it right now.
Here's how you're going to win this contest tonight. While participating, watching the stream, hanging out, chatting with us, and telling all your friends, you are going to type the word coin into the chat one time, and one time only. That will enter you into... Damn it, heck no. You cannot be here in the studio to win said coin, But anyone else has the ability to be able to win that. So players, thank you so much, but you have to wait until it's another stream in order to be able to win that. So, but yes, everyone else, please feel free to participate and do your best and try to win as best you can. All of that being said, we find ourselves in Wonderland, a place far after the events that we have come to know and understand of Wonderland in terms of Alice and the Mad Hatter and her misadventures all throughout the Kingdom of Wonder. Every Tuesday night, we have been doing this campaign set in Wonderland where a bunch of adventurers sort of are trying to find their place in the world, discover their past, and discover who they are as people. In a recent adventure, one of this core group of adventurers, a fighter by the name of Ghrym, lost his life. Ghrym is a shifter.
I'm looking at the wrong
I know. Ghrym is a shifter, and Ghrym is essentially a being that shares his space with another animal, and he's embraced that animal side of things. This is all your backstory. I don't need to. I can stop talking.
No,
You're about to get fired.
Season wrap.
So, we're actually going to do a cutscene. We're going to start this episode in a different way. I want to go back to the moment where you died, Ghrym.
Yeah.
And you're in this place where you're with Gray. And you and Gray are running through these fields. And I imagine you visit back to this moment a lot where like you are animalistic and enjoying the hunt. And you feel the tug of fate start to pull you away from this place. As you feel your friends punch a hole into the afterlife to rip you out of it. And you begin to go, and as you go, you would extend a hand outward, and you look back and see that Gray doesn't want to leave. And I don't know if words were exchanged.
Between the two, it'd probably just... They probably both understand each other well enough at this point that it's like, you know, you gotta go. Like, I have to stay here. You have to be the one that goes ahead.
Okay, then I think for this goodbye, for the first time since you've known him, Gray manifests in human form. He's got this long white hair, and he hugs you. And it's a very sweet human thing to do. And as he shifts back into a wolf and rejoins the pack, you're brought back to Wonderland. Many of you that were tuning in know that Ghrym sort of left. He was a little battered and beaten and sort of began to search for himself. His wanderings and misadventures took him to the small town, a small fishing village off in the region of Port Manstow. And as you're in this sort of fishing village, you spend a lot of time sort of drinking and speaking, trying to get your, speaking with some of the other residents of the town. After a while, I think you notice that you have been followed, and you discover a large robot that's in the bar wearing a fake mustache in order to disguise himself.
So I'm assuming that at this point, Grym's just going to be just hanging out at the bar, and he's just going to catch him up the side of his eye and be like, you can either stand there in the corner looking at me, or you can at least come have a drink and make your presence more exciting. Make my presence more exciting.
And yeah, Bo's gonna walk over and be like, "Where'd you go, man? Like, you just dipped out."
It's been an interesting couple of days, couple of weeks. It's all been blending together. I died.
Everyone was kind of like, I don't know what was going on. Felrin's like, you dipped. I need to follow you. I just make sure you're not like going off somewhere in the deep end. You ended here in a fishing village. Why?
When I died, I ended up losing a piece of myself, something that I thought I'd be keeping for a long time. But once I died, it was time. So I walked, and I kept walking. And the nights just kept going on, the days went, the nights came on, and then I ended up here.
You could have went anywhere. You could have taken me somewhere interesting, but you went to a fishing village, man. Come on.
You guys have made yourselves to the gnomish village of Sink or Swim, and Sink or Swim is a quiet village, and this bar, the most exciting thing that's happened to it in a very long time is the sort of shifter and the giant sort of mechanoid man who share drinks and sort of spend the evening. It gets a little late into the day. As it gets a little late into the day, there is a pop that comes from outside, a familiar pop of a portal opening and a portal closing, and there is a loud thump as Dull the Barbarian makes her way to the town of Sink or Swim. The Dormouse doesn't step through the portal with you, Dull, and says, all right, dear, I need you to do something for me, and honestly, we're not going to make this too complicated.
Okay. I don't like things so complicated.
No, I know you don't. So I just need you to go in the bar. Ghrym will be in the bar.
Your friend Ghrym?
Your friend Ghrym.
I like that guy.
Go get Ghrym and just bring him out of the bar.
Okay. Sprint.
Full sprint. He sort of like stays there with the portal sort of open and askew. As that happens, he turns to the three remaining members of the party that have not made an appearance and looks at all of you. And what do they look like? Dull has been around for a little bit, Bo has been around, and Ghrym, our fighter, has been around. But what does the rest of this party look like?
Dillian is a turtle. It's a giant turtle with a shell.
It's a great description.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you know,
Is he? Yeah.
he's got a big old mace on his side and a shield with a Gorgon's head right on it.
Perfect. I love it. And Texas.
Texas. She's. What am I again? Oh my God. she's a halfling.
Okay.
Texas is a halfling, and until recently she has been running errands for Dimitri, but she is now with the Indigo Explorers League, and she has been, tiny little thing, hat, braids. I don't know. What are we looking for? I'm lost. She doesn't really have any visible weapons because she has daggers, but really she just fights with her words.
And the three of you sort of standing in this this workshop with different doors and stuff at your side. You're joined by another individual.
So Zero is a half elf. He's got bronze skin, blue eyes, and he's wearing chainmail.
Okay, Indigo Chameleon Explorers League. All of you are here for various reasons, and Dull is here because Ghrym knows her, and it's going to make things a little bit easier. I'm hoping, in terms of getting him to join you in this. The three of you are here because this is a nothing town in Wonder, and I'm picking up on lots of energy spikes. I don't know what it is. Good, evil, there's something here, and not only that, but it's creating portals to the different planes. So the three of you are here to investigate and assist in any way that you can. But remember, not all powerful beings are evil, but just be wary and keep your eyes open. Cool. And he shoves you through. You make your way over towards the bar. I imagine it's you're as subtle as Dull has always been, and there is a...
What subtle?
Yeah, there's a boom, and everybody sort of turns back and looks, and you you probably see from like here down, like, and a hand that's like, oh, like, but you, you
just turns around from the bar and just heads on over to Dole, like no question.
Yeah.
Glenn!
Sight for sore eyes, just gives her a hug.
I pick him up.
Yeah.
Big twirl.
You know what? Give me a strength check. Let's see how good this hug is.
15.
Hug check. Yeah, you know what? It's good. She actually like aligns a couple of vertebrae. Like I imagine it's one of the.
A bit taller.
Yeah. You feel good. You got that pop. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Glenn, I missed you.
How you been? It's been
Great. We gotta go this way, okay?
You telling me that I need to leave the bar without paying my tab?
Oh.
No, let's go. Let's go.
Alright.
Here we go.
The gnome's like, She's real big.
Sorry, I need my friend!
As we all toss the gold for it.
A gold piece is probably more money than this
Yeah.
bar has seen in a very long time, and they take it, and he is almost weeping profusely. It's like, thank you, come again. Like,
Eat all the fish.
you guys make your way outside. Before you is a turtle. Ghrym, you recognize Texas from your adventures with Dimitri. Texas is wearing sort of inconspicuous clothes. However, she is wearing this odd sort of emblem on her chest that looks like over on the shoulder, almost above her heart, that looks to be this purple chameleon that seems to shimmer anytime any of the light from outside catches it, any of the moonlight and things of that sort. You've also recognized Zero from your adventures with Dimitri and stuff like that, as they all sort of stand outside and greet you in one big group. The turtle's new.
Hi.
Well, isn't this quite the band of people? What's about the pleasure?
I don't know what they're here for.
Well, you followed me and tracked
I
me
was
like
sent. There's a difference.
All right, fair enough. But the rest of you.
Well, we're here for a visit. We figured we could help you out with your, dilemma. You got a dilemma, right? That's why we're usually in these places.
If you call death a dilemma, yes, I.
Oh, got
I
it.
had
Okay.
I had
Yeah, that's a
dilemma.
bit of a dilemma.
Yeah.
Sounds like a problem,
And you were curious sort, and who are you?
I'm Dillian.
Dillian. Well, nice to meet you.
Alright. It's nice to be met.
All right. I hope he's as cordial with all of you as he was just to me. So.
Oh, he's generally quite cordial.
Oh, okay. Okay, sure.
Hey, I'm Zero.
It's good to see you, Zero.
Wait, do I know you?
Hadn't we met before? With
I think
Dimitri, I believe.
We met
you look
here.
a lot different.
I've shed some fur, as it were.
Yeah, that's probably it.
I want to go up to Ghrym and be like, and whisper.
Okay.
It's not gonna work out. What's the big shiny thing over there?
The where? Oh, yeah. This is Bo. Everyone, this is Bo.
Hey.
This is odd because Bo is probably the closest person here to your height. But he is big and shiny.
Let me help everybody out. I'm just gonna go and grab the fake mustache and just pull it off like it's Bo.
It was me all along.
It was Bo all along, yeah.
I don't think she's.
Hey, Bo, it's nice to meet you.
Hi.
You got a lot of gold and shiny on you.
Yeah.
Is all of it necessary?
All of it is necessary.
You don't have an extra pieces that just might be loose and.
And he
don't really-
taps on his chest like, nope, it's all metal.
A lot of gold and shiny. I like it.
Do you ever
I
take
like
it off?
you.
If they take it off, then I'm not here anymore.
Where are you?
You're not a fan. The way this village is set up, the bar sort of comes out. All of these bars, think like a seaside town, ending at the beach. As you guys are all sort of having this awkward meet and greet, and she's kind of giving you stank eye off to the side. There is another loud sort of pop, and it's a sweet smell on the air, almost like honeysuckle, it's flowers and things of that sort that open up near the water. And a gentleman walks out of this portal. He is wearing a white poet shirt that's sort of open, and he's got this long red hair. He is barefoot, and he's got dirt all over his feet and things of that sort. He's got brown pants, and he's sort of he like brushes a little bit of the dirt off to the side and he sort of waves at you guys.
Hey!
Hi. Hi, Shishai. It's nice to see. Are you my team, then?
I mean, I think we're own team. But
Yes. Oh, perfect. Yeah. And you were meeting out here at the bar, and we're supposed to get you, and then we go to the. Yeah. Oh, lovely. Well, cool. Are you ready to go then?
Who are you?
Oh, sorry. You can call me Puka.
Puka, I like that name. That's fun.
Yeah, I like you. Yeah, look at you. Yes. Puka. Very simple, easy.
Aren't you a breath of fresh air? My name is Texas.
Hi, Texas. Yeah, you're adorable. So, are we ready to go?
And where is it that we're going, Puka?
Well, we have to go. I thought the rescue mission, right? There was like a bit of an ad, and then we're gonna, adventurers needed to go save a friend of mine. Actually, I don't know if friend is a loose term, but I owe him a favour, and I figured if I rescued him, then we would be. No, this isn't ringing a bell.
Can I insight check this guy?
Yeah, absolutely. Give me an insight check.
Sounds right to me.
That's a 20.
Hi, 0 gets it. Yeah. 12.
Granted, it's an adventure. He's ready for it.
Yeah. 12. You don't know if he thinks you're somebody else, or if this is a game that he's played before, or a con. But he seems genuine. That he honestly is like, yeah.
Is that your friend? He knew your name.
Oh, no, I've never met him. I don't think.
How do you know his name?
Oh, it's just a little trick that I picked up.
Do you know my name?
Yes.
What is it?
Dope.
Wow, you're magic.
Yeah, kind of.
A little bit. I like it.
Well, how do you want to get there then? Do you want a horse? I could probably do a horse, but I mean it's going to be a little tight. I could do a big horse. We could do.
You understand we have a warforged here. He's quite large.
No, right.
They're both much larger than horses.
Yeah.
And I'm a little bit heavy for a horse.
Oh, yeah, no worries.
Now, where exactly are we going?
Oh, we're going straight into the Red Keep. They're having a big party there tonight, some sort of coronation party or something along those lines.
Do we have any familiarity? Like, would I have any familiarity with the Red Keep?
You
at
probably
all?
would. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't have to go inside if you don't want to. But there's a buddy of mine. He's being kept outside. There's a big old rose garden, the Queen's rose garden. It's sort of her pride and joy. And he's being kept in there, and I've tried to make it past there a couple of times, but there's something about the way that she's got this place warded that is not letting me through, or see much, really, of it anyway. So I thought under the auspices of the party, you can go into the party, or if you want to pretend to be gardeners, I'm all about that.
So would this be more of like a fancy dress kind of occasion? I mean, you said gardeners, but I don't...
Well, I'm looking around the group, and I'm wondering if servant route might be the way to go here. But just between the turtle and the mechanoid man and the orc, half orc.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I could cast semen on you if you like. I'd be happy to do that. Or I could transform you into animals if you want, right as we get there.
So in the Red Keep, what exactly were we supposed to be doing? I'm just trying to get some information here.
Sure. The Red Keep tonight is a coronation party. I didn't get the specifics just because I was bored and I didn't want to. But
I do that a lot too.
Oh, yeah. It's just the way that men go about it. It used to be much simpler. It was just like, at war. I want to find someone to be romantic with. I want to drink. Like, God. Hey, the common ground, common language. So they're having some sort of fancy party tonight to celebrate some sort of marriage or other. And I thought that now might be the perfect time to send a group in, and it's a big garden. And I say garden, but there are some rose hedges and a bit of a maze-like quality to it. But hey, you all seem like fine folks.
You seem to keep getting distracted with the actual mission. Like, send us in and...
Yeah, at the center is my friend.
Your friend.
And does your friend have a name or description, perhaps?
Yeah,
You can call him. Why don't you call him Will? To start off with.
Willard, William, Will.
His real name's William. I call him Will.
And how are we going to know who Will is? What does he look like?
He looks like this. And he blows into his hands, and as he blows into his hands, it sort of coalesces into this little ball, and he takes the ball and sort of throws it into the air, and as the ball goes into the air and everybody watches as the ball comes down, the ball dissipates, and as you guys all look down, he's got the magic. The ball was just sort of to get everybody to look up. But Will is a man with long, white, fluffy ears and sort of padded feet. It looks like the perfect cross between a man and a rabbit. You immediately recognize him as one of the people who have sort of associated, like made a pact with their sort of animal side of things. But he looks a little different than Gray and some of the other folks. Will is wearing a three-piece suit, and he keeps pulling out a watch and sort of looking at the watch and sort of clicking it and then putting it back down again and sort of walking about. And all of a sudden he looks at you and he says, now when you first meet him, he's going to be a little timid and trepidatious, but I'm sure that under the right circumstances and then meeting all of you and you rescuing him, he'll be right as rain. Yes?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna use like the special effects clothing that I have.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna like model my suit after what he'd shown.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to tell you how to do your business. If you want to go into this party and try to find intel, you can do that. If you want to sort of make your way to the garden straight and proper, you can do that as well. I just know that I can get you there. I can get you there fast.
Considering size, you can get us all there fast.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're
And
big.
I get the feeling that you all are here about the portal thingy. So I promise, I swear to my mother that I will never, ever, ever do another one of them here portals outside the Seafaring town if you do this for me.
I'm here with you, man. It's up to you.
Another opportunity to help someone.
Cool.
I like that. See, what a kind soul, brave soul. Another opportunity to help someone. That's nice. You want that in the world, right?
My friend says yes, I say yes.
Yes. All right. That's 3.
I mean, this solves the problem.
Yeah, and they always seem to plop us down right where we're needed.
Exactly.
Even if we don't always see it. Let's just.
Do you know what they call that?
Luck?
No, I'd call it kismet, but we can go with luck too.
I mean, I don't know whose, not ours.
Oh, come on. What's the worst that could happen?
We could die. Too
Oh,
soon.
yeah.
I mean, not me, but.
Ooh. Ooh. He sort of laughs, and as he does, he I'm trying to figure out how he does this. The space gets bigger. Like the space you're in gets bigger, and it's almost like the world accommodates that a horse was always there. And it's not magic, it's not polymorph, it's not shape changing. There was always a horse in this space. Like, and the horse is like large. It's this beautiful sort of Clydesdale looking horse with the long hair and things of that sort. And he sort of looks at all of you, and the horse gives a wink, and yeah, he's standing in the spot.
We're just gonna go over and scope the horse and just pet it. Just kind of like, beast-ish to beast.
It's humming. Like you can feel. It's one of those horses. Like when you get close to somebody, you feel the heartbeat, like the warmth of an animal like that. Like it's radiating heat.
Is there a way to get onto it, or are we like, is there like a cart in the back, or are we riding on top of it, or?
Yeah, you can climb up on top.
All right, I'm in. Let's climb on top.
Yeah. All right. So Ghrym is the first one to sort of jump on top.
Right behind him.
Yep.
Reaching hand.
There, you don't know how, but there's plenty of room up there.
Yeehaw!
Yeah, Texas, if you didn't jump on this horse. All right, everybody else?
Yeah. Sure, yeah.
0,
I'll jump on after.
Could have tried and scramble up, yeah.
Turtle on a horse. At the very end, there's a turtle that's just seems like its hands are a little like, and Texas is sort of holding on, you know.
The smallest of all of us.
The minute the last of
Looking
you,
on DDB for a lasso.
the minute the last of you get on the horse, there is a music that comes in from all directions at once. Sort of this beautiful flute that comes in. Give me a history check. Just you, Dillian. History or religion?
That is a 6. Oh wait, religion? Well, I mean, it's still 6. Never mind.
It's all right. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It seems to be like festival music or things of like that sort. And the horse moves, and it moves. And suddenly there is the sound of this music that sort of plays, and it sort of mimics the hoofbeats as it hits the ground, almost like providing a beat to this music. And the horse doesn't move, it dances through the trees, over bodies of water, up mountains that seem to sort of disappear behind you guys. And you guys are moving so unbearably fast, but there's never a sense of fear or doubt in you. And for all of you who have been through so much personal sort of trauma over the past few days, for a brief second it is the wind and the horse and the feeling of flight while on the ground. And
I've been through wonder on a horse.
that's a great way to end it. As the puka kind of comes to a halt and stops, and you see the same sort of young man that you saw earlier. He says, "All right, so you're right here on the outskirts, here at the Red Keep, and it's just probably as far as I can get you. You got this. You're helping out somebody that really needs it, and more I cannot ask you to step up and be a protector. So he will needs that more than anything in the world. All right. Good luck, and they'll be around."
And how do we get in contact with you when it's all over?
Hey, you don't. And the puka sort of turns into a little rabbit and sort of hops off into the forest. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome for the first time into the grounds of the Red Keep. The Red Keep is this huge castle that overlooks Wonder. For those of you that are a part of Wonderland, you have seen this thing sort of rising up on the spires, but none of you have ever been inside the grounds. Sure enough, you are right on the outskirts as people sort of make their way towards this huge sort of castle. People seem to be dressed in different forms of finery. It's not all formal. You do see people wearing sort of regular clothes and sort of making their way forward, walking down a long path. You are sort of on the outskirts, past the people that are welcoming carriages in, but before the checkpoint where people are sort of checking invitations and things of that sort. There are two men dressed in finery that welcome people as they walk up, of all different forms. You see people handing over a small piece of paper and welcoming them in. You also see these two men. On either side of them stands a half-orc, sort of the same size as Dull, just sort of standing there almost on guard for these two men. Heroes, what would you like to do? How do we handle this situation?
Well, I'm pretty good at talking people into things, so I think I can talk my way into the Rose Garden. Maybe a couple of assistants, but I'm not sure I can talk all 5 people in. Do any of you have ways to, change, condense yourself, fit into a pocket, turn into an animal?
Pulls into the shell.
I don't think that's
That's not exactly what I meant, but
Bo walks over
we'll
and taps
try.
on the shell.
Hey, that hurts. Stop it.
It's like, it's weird.
I know some of the guards.
You do?
Yeah, they gave me my name. 5 and 8, they called me Zero.
So you can get us in then.
I know some of the guards.
and do you see any of them present outside, or that you could call and say, hey, I know.
Give me a perception check, big guy, as you start looking around.
Perception, that's 16.
16. Well, hit me running. Yeah, you know what? One of the guards, there's two of them that are sort of, they're taking invitations and things of that sort. But a little ways past, you see a whole bunch of guards that sort of line the path. It's not guards taking invitations, it's two men dressed in finery. But one of the guards that you see a little bit, like, within shouting distance is one that you worked with. It's 5.
You know, before we go any further, just because I'm familiar with a standard deck of playing cards.
Yeah.
And I'm not familiar with the 0 card. So why exactly did you get assigned the 0 number?
Oh, it was a joke.
Because
I don't really have a place in the deck.
So you're going to talk your way into this?
I was just going to introduce you.
Oh. I'm not sure that's going to be necessary.
Are you still in the shell? This image of you just
Just
standing
like hanging out, like, well, I'm trying.
Well, as an alternative, we could divide into 2 groups. We could have one group try to get in their way, and we could have another group try to get in their way, and then hope that one manages to get in. I just think a group of 6 trying to make their way in all at once is going to be a little bit tricky.
Problematic.
We've got 2 larger people.
Yeah. What are you looking
not-
at?
Half work. Do I recognize him?
The 2 on the side?
The half work.
Yeah, give me a perception check. Let's see.
That's gonna be 22.
I need to put this dice away.
No,
Yeah, I love 0. Yeah, you know what, Dull? You do. You recognize from your gladiator days. You know that once half orcs served as functionary, either like guards or things of that sort. So that the fact that they're not in the gladiator arena means there could be some fighting tonight that happens as entertainment, and they're just out here showing off. Or it could be that they're using orcs now for private function, which is not anything that they ever did before. But yeah, I would say that you recognize Ben. VENN, and you see him over off on the side, and
Is he alone?
No, they're both of the half orcs are standing next to.
Oh, there's 2 of them.
There's
Sorry,
one on either side standing next to the guys that are taking invitations. In case anybody gets uppity, it's like having 2 doormen out there. Like
We have 2 rather large folks. If we do 2 different parties and the 2 bigger guys are bodyguards for this? You know, what if we play our way in?
Well, I'm thinking if I can play myself up as a gardener, since we're going into a garden anyway, someone who kind of takes care of roses. Maybe you could be bodyguards. We just got a lot of people we got to squeeze in as an entourage.
I know that guy.
You know that guy?
Yeah.
How well?
I know that
You
guy.
So we have one person that knows 5.
A guy.
And then Dill knows that other
That guy.
half orc.
Yeah. He was a good fighter.
she's pointing off to the guy that's on the right. So she's saying that if you
Let's take an invitation.
if you guys want to, there's a gentleman on the right with the. She's like, I know that guy. She's pointing towards the orc, the half orc that's standing next to that guy. So there might be a chance that if you went that way.
Well, you guys want to give it a try, and we'll try a backup plan. I might fade into the shadows just a little bit in case we need a backup plan, so that I'm not recognized.
Well, I think our chances are pretty good considering we have 2 people that know people here. So.
Yes.
Cool. So what's the marching order as we walk up?
I would say you'd be first, considering you know the first person at the door versus the person.
Yeah,
at the
right.
back. And I'll be
Alright.
right behind Dole.
Right behind Dull.
Somewhere in the middle.
You're Dillian sort of pops his head out and I was like, so we're not doing the show.
I'm gonna hang out
stand
towards the back. I'm not gonna go like invisible or anything, but I'm gonna hang out.
You're
towards the
next to
back.
Dull.
What am I doing?
So-
I
Wait,
can
what
see
should I
myself.
say?
So you.
Go ahead.
I was like, well, you know the person, so
Yeah.
start by. We're here to gain entry to this. We're here to get into the party
Okay.
or festival or whatever this is inside.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
We would like to get in.
Okay.
So
Okay. No, I'm gonna stay looking like me.
Okay.
Me too.
Yeah.
Staying towards
Okay.
the bow.
I think I'm reversing my idea.
Staying
Okay.
true to character.
All right.
Cool. Dull leads the way. There's a moment where the gentleman is being very nice and polite with people, and then sort of like turns around and looks. May I help you?
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Fine.
Me too. Hey, I know that guy.
Then sort of like stops and looks over, and his eyes go real wide, and then goes back to like sort of like looking at the ground. And the gentleman there sort of stops and looks back at the half-orc standing there and says, "Oh, you know the help?
Yeah.
How lovely for you."
Thank you.
Yes. Well, do you have an invitation?
Oh. What? Oh
If
no.
Ghrym is seeing this,
Give me a deception check, please. Oh my god.
Why couldn't it be performance? It's 4.
Yes, well, you must have lost it.
You're right. There's
Yes.
not a lot of things going on up in here. It's fine.
No.
I sure I'm a number 2.
Of course not. Why don't you go and try to find your invitation, and we will let your party in when you find it.
All right.
I'm sorry. I think she may have dropped this behind, and so Grim's gonna reach into his pocket and just grab out like 10 gold pieces and just like try to be slimy. Like, she dropped this behind. I believe this is for you. He's gonna try to give it to the guard, try to bribe his way.
Give me persuasion at disadvantage, please.
Jesus Christ almighty. Here we go. That'd be 9. 13.
He looks at your hand and takes the coin and sort of holds it up like this. And so let me get this straight. The largest event to happen in the Red Keep since the gods know.
Sorry, I thought it was 9. It was 10.
10. Yeah. Since the gods know
So
when.
14.
And you would like to bribe me with 10 gold, a whole 10 gold, in order to get in to the party.
Did I say 10? I mean 10 for each of us.
Bo's gonna open the compartment on his arm because he has a couple. He has a little bit of change on him.
Okay.
He's gonna have about. It's gonna open. It's about 200 gold coins in there. He goes, "Get it, buddy. Come on."
How many people are watching?
A lot. As people are just sort of looking at this guard, and he sort of looks back at the line and sort of smiles at everyone, and says, "I don't know who you think you are or where you think you are slumming, but that is not how things work here. You're being as discreet as, well..."
As soon as he does that, cracking all of my knuckles.
All right, I'm gonna walk through the group up front. I'm gonna cast Disguise Self, but I'm not gonna change my appearance.
Intimidation.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry.
Disguise
yeah.
self.
Can I assist that?
You don't. You could just your presence is going to assist that. What are you changing into as you
Okay,
walk
I'm
up?
not changing my appearance much because I don't want to like risk any sort of them seeing through this disguise. I'm making myself look a little higher class and adding some yellow roses into my attire. Okay.
15.
15. He snaps his fingers, and the half-orc next to him pretends like he didn't hear it.
Okay.
As he sort of looks back at the orc and looks back, you've made your way to the front. And
So I'm walking up, clapping. Like, that was great, y'all. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Lady Texas of the Yellow Rose, the queen. wants me here to assess not only security, which you guys just passed with flying colors, by the way, but also to check out some of the roses in her garden. Apparently, some of them are getting a little off in color, and for a party as important as this, those roses need to be perfect. So if you wouldn't mind just escorting me and my bodyguards right through to the garden, you are welcome to stay with us the entire time. I assure you, just we need to go on through to the garden, pop in, check out those roses, and we will be right out.
You're a security and flower expert.
Well,
Give me a persuasion roll. At advantage as we accommodate the intimidation. He just wants you guys done. So give me persuasion.
All right, that would be a 28.
Well, that seems legit. What do you call your business?
Excuse me, ladies, Texas of the Yellow Rose is really all I need. I am known throughout the lands for my...
Yes, of course. We've heard of you. I see your name on the list. Please, just tell the queen, please, that security
I will tell her that you are doing a very, very fine job with security, but I would recommend that you not give me any more back talk. Thank you very much.
Sure. Yes, of course. Right this way. And he makes sure, he sort of sweeps his hand outward, sort of escorting you. The gardens are past the main entrance on the left-hand side of the estate. Please just quickly get them in.
Thank you very much.
Not discreetly, so that everyone else sees it, but the guy just sort of is ready to get you guys go. The orc, as you walk by, tries to put something in your hand. Do you take it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. You guys all see this half orc sort of shove something in your hand.
To the gardens.
Yeah. He doesn't look at you. He just sort of shoves it in your hand.
Yeah. I go in there.
Yeah. Cool. Flower and security experts. Yep.
Nice.
Not in my wildest dreams.
The Iron Roses? There was an opportunity there.
The Rosary?
The Iron Rosary there.
The Iron Rosary?
Lady Texas of the Yellow
Lady
Rose.
Texas of the Yellow Rose.
Texas?
Stars at night are big and bright.
Dang it, I'm so sorry.
No, I'm so
My Texan came out.
Okay, before you is the castle grounds of the Red Keep. As he points you off sort of like forward and to the left, you see people sort of walking past you, and there is that long row of guards that sort of look forward, and I'm sure there's a bit of a cocked head as Zero walks by a few of them. And they sort of look ahead. People are walking past you and making their way to the front door. Around to the left of the house. Do we keep walking and follow the directions?
We want to get to the garden.
Standing before you are the spanning gardens of the Red Queen. They are magnificent. It's a bit of a hedge maze that you see sort of built tall, but very well kept and maintained. The red roses that make up the outer walls of the garden seem to be intermingled with white roses as well, that seem to be poking through the hedges. But none of them fully out. Give me investigation checks, all of you, as you make your way towards this area.
13.
13?
11.
11?
12.
13.
4.
14.
I think 14 was our highest.
Good job, buddy.
My 14.
Negative 1.
My 14s. You are sort of looking around. You see the petals of white roses sort of scattered on the ground, and you are able to attune that anytime one of the white roses sort of pokes their head through and manages to get through these sort of thorny parts of the hedge, they are ripped out and either replaced with or changed to be red. So you see these little like white petals all over the ground where white roses have seemed to have been ripped out unceremoniously and sort of scattered and
So white roses on the ground, red roses on the trees.
On the hedges and the trees and things of that sort. The garden is beautiful. There's a small gazebo off to the off on a diagonal as you make your way around. The large entrance to the hedge maze is just a large gold ornate heart that is held up by sort of brass on the sides, showing you an entrance into this maze.
While the guards are still here and expecting me to be looking at the flowers,
Yeah.
I'm going to walk around looking at the flowers, but I'm going to try to subtly cast Unseen Servant
Okay.
just to have on hold.
Okay.
Because it
Yeah.
lasts for an hour.
I will say that you are able to cast your unseen servant and have him sort of at your side as you make your way around this area.
Is there, to the guards, is there any way to navigate? It looks like quite the small labyrinth.
The guards sort of look at you and they cock their head. And, I'm sorry, what?
We know where we're going. We know where we're going. We just, if there's a map of the area, that way we can make sure we get all the roses and change the colors.
Well,
as necessary.
Sure. You are. No one really goes in. I mean, the queen goes in, but this is her sanctum. This is her private area. You do realize that most people have been forbidden from entering.
All the reason to make it more thorough.
Do I know you?
I don't believe you had the pleasure.
Yes. The entrance is there. Please help yourselves.
Thank you very much for your help. You are welcome to stay and watch, but I need to spend some time communing with the flowers.
There is he goes to say something, and then there is a loud call that seems to come from a backdoor area that says, she's starting. Get inside. And he looks up. All right, help yourselves. Good luck. And he follows the sound through the back door and into a bit of a servant's quarters. There are no guards now patrolling the area. You have been escorted, and you are standing in front of a very large hedge maze.
How tall is the hedge? How tall are the hedges?
The hedges are 10 feet tall.
Well, that was nice of him to wish us luck.
That gold thing's ugly.
I don't think the luck was as useful as he said it to be.
It was still very nice.
Yeah.
I like this guy. Pretty up.
Sure, it was nice.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So where do we begin?
The entrance, probably.
There's only one place to start. It is a maze.
Yeah.
He's got a point.
He's not gonna say anything. He's just gonna walk in.
The turtle and you have a staring contest, and as you're having the staring contest, the head just sort of slowly sinks into
Ghrym just gonna make a mental note of everything that he's seen, like that's where walking in.
Ghrym, I need a wisdom save, please.
How close is he?
He is very close.
Very
I imagine
close.
you guys are in a little clump.
You get a +5.
You feel Zero's comforting presence, and Zero, something inside you kind of shifts a little bit, and you see Ghrym sort of like bend over in pain a little bit as something.
+4.
So +4 to that.
Okay, so is that
How tall are you, Texas?
About 3 feet.
She's a little.
I'm little.
The hat is like 1 foot.
I love it.
That is a foot.
That's 12.
12. You're walking forward, and as you're taking your first sort of steps towards the entrance of that, you get a scream of help that echoes throughout your brain. It is a cry. It's something that sort of almost like doubles you over. We harken back to a little bit of Ghrym's childhood, where he was maybe a little bit of the runt of the litter a little bit before he found his sort of wolf companion, and then sort of the issue. So you recognize this cry as a cry for help, animalistic, and you guys just watch as Ghrym's taking a few steps forward and then just sort of bends over and like clutches at his head.
You're right there. Something here really needs us, and it's not like a hey guys, ha ha ha. It's painful. It's hurting.
It's in the maze?
It's gotta be.
Well, let's go. Like,
Yep.
she heads towards the maze.
Maybe, just maybe, get a nice little aerial view of this. Me and her are both 6 foot tall.
Speak for yourself.
Taller. Sorry. But maybe someone go on the shoulders. See if we can get a grid.
It's not a bad idea. Just get a scope and just jump in the air.
Just like, yeah, just
Whoever
like,
gets me
I'm
first.
8 feet tall.
8 feet?
Boom.
Who are you hoisting up?
Who wants to go?
Yeah.
Go get him, Bo. you would
You are very,
No. Yeah, I was
you are
like, that's
very
a
heavy.
terrible
no.
Either
6'5".
the turtle,
So I'm
the
5'8", so
I'm 6 even.
I think.
the Ghrym, the Texas could be
Got
hoisted
Shane
up.
Elbow.
Well, and to be honest, I could fly up there or get somebody else to fly up there. It's just, it only lasts 10 minutes. I can only use it once, so we better save it for when we need it.
Yeah, it's probably safer to prairie dog compared
Yeah.
to
Well, absolutely.
flying around a maze and possibly cheating.
Well, let's go then.
Which one?
Well,
I'll just go over to you, Doll.
go
All
ahead.
right.
Yeah.
Ready and what?
Are you just shoving up?
I'm holding it.
Oh, you're okay. I was like-
It is straight up
That-
cheerleader on his feet,
I'm a
holding his
flyer.
feet.
Yeah. Give me a strength check, and then
Oh, I forgot I can do that too.
you give me athletics as you're just like.
Bo is standing in front of Ghrym just in case he falls.
Yep. Strength 16. Boom. What do you got?
So that is going to be 13.
13? Yeah, you managed to. Oh god, it's quick. As you shove because you're 5'8", you're 8 feet. Yeah, that pushes the top. As you push over the top, give me a perception check as you start scanning out the top of this maze.
18.
You haven't entered the maze yet, right?
Yeah, I'm like right there at the...
Yeah. Pretty simple, nice, lovely. It's nighttime, the stars are out. You hear a bit of commotion. You're able to sort of look inside to this main area through the large windows of the estate. You see everybody gathered into this space. You actually manage to see the queen, who you recognize sort of standing on a podium and holding the hand of Princess and holding the hand of Red Jack. And she's giving some sort of large speech and proclamation about something, but you look over towards the maze, and the maze is great. Like it's fine.
Directionally, would I know where I was going at that point?
Huh?
Directionally, I mean, having seen like I can navigate.
Yeah, you can
more.
navigate
Okay.
fairly easily.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And catch.
Yeah.
Dismount. Here we go.
Take it!
She looks to you guys. Yeah, 0. And it's like, what?
Once again, Dome, thank you.
I got you, my dude.
We need to go this way, pointing in the
The
direction.
direction of the entrance. Yeah.
Arbitrary
Ah!
direction. Go this way.
Yeah, you saw it. There were twists and turns. There were some dead ends, but it looked like an archetypical, like sort of hedge maze, leading towards a central area that seems to be carved in the shape of a heart, like that's at the very center, which is a little on the nose, but I mean, oh well.
You know.
Info dump.
Yeah.
There you go.
Cool.
Let's go, guys.
Cool.
Did you see the way through, or we just?
It's in the shape of a heart.
About how far
So-
away is the center of this maze?
Not too far. I mean, when I was in the air, I could see it pretty much.
30.
I'm already going.
Like
Yeah, 0.
30,
Yeah.
30 feet?
Yeah, it's
That's
a
it?
small hedge maze. Like it's like a 0 walks through.
Yep.
Alright.
Dillian just puts
I'm
one
following.
hand, just one claw along the wall, and it's just like, this is how you figure this out, and just starts walking along.
You're
Follow
ripping
the
off
wall.
like chunks.
That's how you find your way back.
I think this turtle hates plants. Like, it's so weird. Why would outplay a character that hates plants? Everybody crosses through the threshold?
Yes.
Cool. You cross through the threshold, and the golden heart above the entrance alights with an arcane energy as you pass through the outward appearance of the hedge maze and into the hedge maze proper. The dark outside gets a little darker, but other than that, there's no changes.
Okay, you want to do that thing you just did again where you go
Yeah.
up and you look and see if it's actually about 30 feet away?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah, another athletics check and another strength check.
Same thing, Bogus.
Yeah. 10? Yeah, it's not that bad. It's easy. I mean, you're used to this before. I think you guys have this down to a routine. It's like, 1 foot in the hand.
And
woo! It's a cheerleader move. Like he's got 1 foot now, where you're just.
I'm doing the scorpion bending backwards this way.
But you're not tall enough.
Oh, he can't get up now?
Yeah, it's like past your head a little bit.
Unless I can either get taller or we can make these two get on top of each other. There's no way of me seeing the top.
I didn't grow.
You did fine. You did fantastic. I just think
You
that the
didn't grow.
the hedges grew.
Wait.
That was really fast.
I think there's something sneaky about this maze where it's actually bigger on the inside.
Well,
You might be right.
the turtle seemed to have the idea. Let's go just
Yep.
to the left.
There's a dragging. It's like yep. As you guys just continue to plow straight ahead into the maze, walking forward. All right, gang. Welcome to the hedge maze of the evil Red Queen.
Evil hedge maze.
As you make your way towards a turning point, you reach your first fork in the road. A path that leads to the left and a path that leads to the right. Which way are we going?
You stick to the left?
For bonus points, I'll let you give it to the chat, and the chat can choose for you.
Ooh, chat, choose for us, left or right?
So chat, chat, you get to choose whether for the first fork in the road, they go either to the left or to the right. Hope the queen doesn't have any guards in the maze. Nope, Gypsy will bad. Miss Audie is a vote for the left.
Oh, thanks, man.
We gotta do some bandersnatch like stagnate.
Yeah. Yeah.
While they choose.
Left because I've been mentally coin. Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, don't forget to type in the word coin in the chat just one time and one time only, and you will be entered to win.
Ooh, right. Type it without the exclamation point though.
Right.
Then it'll work.
From Meowita.
Once.
Left
Just
from
once.
Gypsy Wolf.
Once.
I'm gonna give a couple more seconds to let them vote.
Which
We
way?
got a left. We got 2 lefts and a right.
2 lefts don't make a right, y'all.
Left from
But 2 out of 3 ain't
And a
bad.
left from Wolf.
I can make those jokes too.
Left from Wolf.
I think it's
You
left.
guys.
I think we're going
I
left.
turned
You guys go left.
3 lefts and a
You guys
right,
go to the
not
left.
backwards.
You're
Backwards.
to the left. As you
I have with the. Hold on. Here we go.
That's not how this works. You run out and you go like start dragging your hand on the left wall. Okay. There is a long passage in front of you as you make your way down. The roses and flowers are starting to get a little darker in appearance, a little bit more unkept. There is a stomping of feet close to where you are, and sounds like animal noise. That's how I'll describe it. You are unable to see anything, but from down this sort of long path that you see in front of you, you hear the faint sounds of an animal stomping.
Is this something I'd be able to recognize? Like what kind of animal it might be, considering, you know.
Give me a nature check.
Where-ish people? Please. Jabberwock, Doobie Solid. 14.
It's. How about this? Whatever it is, it's solid. I mean, it's. If you're able to hear it from where you are, but you are unable to see it from where you are, whatever this thing is, it carries a weight behind it.
Does it? Can I roll a perception to see if it has 2 or 4 legs?
Yeah, I love this idea of like of like I got this, guys. like shoving your ear to the ground, and
There's something big coming.
Yeah. Perception? It's a 13.
it's got legs, guys.
It's got. You know what? I tried.
It has somewhere between
That's when
1
Bo's gonna
and
pop his
5
potions.
legs.
Good move.
Well, thanks, Bo.
So, where is this in? Like,
Long
it's down.
corridor at the end of it, and it's getting a little darker outside.
How far?
Let's say 50 feet.
I have dark vision. I can see 60 feet in front of me.
You can. You don't see anything at the end of this thing. Do you guys just wait here for a little bit of time?
I think we should proceed forward, but be cautious.
Why am I ready?
Are we going stealthily or are we going normally?
I say we sneak out, or if we got 1 or 2 volunteers that are super sneaky to like sneak down, take a peek, and come back and let us know what's going on. I mean, you can stay within visual distance of us.
I'd be more than willing to go down.
I'll go too.
All right.
He's gonna pull out his sword and the Adrena dagger. He's gonna use that one.
2 of you give me stealth rolls, please.
Okay.
Texas and Ghrym starts
21.
18.
making their way forward.
Oh no.
That'll be fun. I'm wearing chainmail.
You are quiet, and you are very quiet and feeling the sort of grass crunch beneath your feet. You'll get to a turning point where there's like an area that seems to go off this way, and the 2 of you sort of like quickly sort of dart your heads forward. Before you are very large beast, monstrous in appearance, that have the body of a bull, but the head of a man. They're standing up. It's almost like it's like a kind of, but it's two legs. So imagine like a bestial shape with like the head of a man that is sort of added to this like form that's standing up, almost like a minotaur.
So like a fawn, but
no, a minotaur, but with the head of a human.
Got it. Okay. And how
Cloven
many of them
feet,
are there?
large arms. There's 2 of them. Give me perception checks as you sort of peek around the corner.
Good.
19.
20, not now.
Their eyes have been sewn shut. They seem to be feeling along the maze walls, and as they do, their hands scrape against some of the thorns and leave these red trails that seem to paint the flowers red with blood as they trace their hands along the walls. There's a moment where you guys sort of like peek around the corner and they sort of like stop and like smell the air a little bit and then continue to just move along the walls.
Okay, I tap him on the shoulder and say, and go back to everybody and explain this.
So is there one?
There's 2.
There's 2.
I'm thinking maybe we can make nice with these. I mean, maybe they're stuck just like we are, or maybe they've been put here, but maybe if we got somebody who can heal them up a little bit and help them out, maybe we could get on their good side. They've obviously probably been in here longer than we have.
Did they seem angry?
They were blinded. They, almost intentionally so.
They seemed hurt.
Well, my experience with people coming into the dark and trying to help is resulting in, well, more nefarious situations.
Well, maybe I can talk to them, but we can have somebody else who can help them and heal them.
Well, if it's something we do, we need to do it together because we're better and stronger.
No, I say we all go together and we all use our skills together to kind of try to help these people out. Maybe they'll help us out in return.
Worst case scenario, we're in for a skirmish. So let's
do it.
I could act as a bodyguard in case things go awry, but I ain't good at the healing.
I'm not a smart man.
I'm not a smart man, so.
Yeah.
I can hit things real good.
How are you assisting them? Like, are we waiting until they turn the corner and make their way towards you? Are you going to that spot?
No, I think we
Better
should go
surprise them.
towards them, but talk so we're not surprising. Because if they can't see, I want to make sure that
What are
we're
you
talking
saying?
from a distance. Hi, I'm not here to hurt you. It looks
The
like
footsteps stop.
it looks like you're hurt, and we'd like to help. We're stuck here too. Are you stuck?
I started walking to start to take point with that snort.
I don't want to startle you. We got one of our people coming up that's going to help to heal you.
Cash not of us. Us.
Anybody speak Abyssal?
Big friend.
I do.
You guys hear these random. Damn it! You guys hear these random sounds that come from an area, but you guys hear these random sounds that come, and then you hear intruders to the maze. Food.
In Abyssal, I'm gonna go, we're definitely not food. And then in Common, I'm gonna go, they think we're food.
Did you tell them we're not food?
I did.
Who are you?
They want to know who we are.
Hi, I'm Zero.
Just tell them that we're here to help them, and we see that they're injured, and we'd like to help.
I love the enthusiasm.
We can see that you're injured, and we're here to help. You look like you're hurt.
What is help?
Webster defines help as.
Yeah, like, how do we define help as?
At this point, everybody sees them. I think as you all turn the corner, and you see that they're large. They're almost at Dull's size. They've got a stick, like a club, that seems to be wrapped in thorns around the edges of it. That they're sort of dragging on the ground. Right now, their eyes are pointed towards you, but they're in a holding pattern.
Help is the opposite of hurt.
Tell them we're gonna fix their boo-boos.
I told them that I could heal them.
Do they have a task or a mission or objective for why they're here?
I feel like asking them why they're here when they're asking us is not the best idea quite yet.
We do not know opposite of hurt.
Is there anybody who can heal them from like a distance or something?
Not me.
Seriously? None of us can do this.
I'm a fighter.
I'm gonna,
I don't heal things.
I drink for a living?
I'm gonna
But
hold
Everyone-
up your hand.
Persuasion check.
That is a 1. Not a natural 1. It's a 2 minus 1.
My God.
No, my name's Al, but
The confusion is always
yeah.
Listen,
All
I know
all
Dwayne
fine.
well.
He says,
Walk forwards.
I'm gonna take a couple of steps forward.
I'm going to stealth right behind him.
"Give me a stealth roll."
Y'all laugh.
Dull. She's
I know,
actually.
I know.
How
She's
dare
ac-
y'all?
They can't see. It's fine.
Yeah.
Can I be on Dole's back?
It's going to be a 12.
Okay. They, you see them straighten up a little bit, and you hear one say, "Kneel."
I'm going to stop moving.
I do.
He puts a hand up.
I'm gonna cast Healing Word.
Okay.
Okay. For 6. Because you said they have cuts on their hand, right?
They do. There is a gasp as the one standing sort of backs up, and as he does, he sort of like takes a hand and gently traces over the cut, and for the first time since I think they've been alive, the cuts on their hand close. And he puts another hand down.
Gonna do it again. And I'm gonna say that's help. Why are you here?
We paint the roses.
Why?
Needed. Blood ritual every day. Keep things in. Keep things out. It's about William.
What are you trying to keep in? And what are you trying to keep out?
Keep in. Bunny. Keep out.
rebel, or referred to as the usurper.
Have we
They're
heard
here to
of
keep the rabbit in. And
Roll his high history check. Everybody can roll history. Yep. Roll high.
I'm good.
Yep.
Nat one.
Nat one.
Regular one.
Two nat one.
Regular one. It's a regular one.
I made my money the old-fashioned way. Got run over by Alexis.
A
A 10.
Plus history. I got 6.
As long as kingdoms have been around, there has always been those that oppose the monarchy. And it's just, I mean, it's just, you know, I'm not going to get Angela Lansbury on you, but it's a tale as old as time. Like, as long as there's somebody in charge, there's somebody that wants to undermine. And you've never heard of her, of the usurper, of the rebel, but she has to exist. Yeah. Are you her?
I don't think so.
Are they?
Last time I checked.
Are they her?
No. They're also here to help.
We help. And they just sort of stand off to the side.
I do believe they're gonna let us pass.
Do they know where William is? Will.
Seeing as they're trying to keep the rabbit in, I don't think we're gonna ask them.
Stealth.
What are you
No,
doing?
I'm not stealthing. I'm just going. If
Yeah.
he says we're good to
Yeah.
go, I'm
Zero,
good to go.
dull.
Yeah, cool.
Everybody, yeah, they sort of wait to the side, and then there is a sigh, and the I think he takes the hand and sort of touches his eyes, and touches the other, and smiles a little bit, and then keeps walking down the path, and cuts the hand open.
Before we go any further,
Yes.
those people dumb and didn't realize that Ven gave her something.
Yeah.
Do I know what he gave me?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. You're like, what is this?
Oh yeah, I have a thing. I
She's,
forgot.
you're walking, and then you're like, there's a minute of you're like, wait,
Hold on.
wait, I have a thing. You guys sort of turn this corner, and you're making your way down a long sort of stretch of the garden, and you pull out. There is a piece of paper, and inside this piece of paper is just, it looks to be wax. Like it's like candle, or it's like movable wax, almost like a beeswax or something like that.
Is there anything written on it?
Yeah, you look at the paper.
I can't wait. I just.
You can't read?
No.
What's your intelligence?
That's an 8.
You can still read.
I can. Where did I learn this?
I believe 8 is being able to read.
Great, I don't know.
Or
that.
you're able to use magical items and things of that sort. What languages does those speak?
Common and Orc.
Yeah, you know what? You're not able to. How about this? There's a picture of a woman that you recognize. And it shows, it's a crude drawing. It's a picture of the woman that trained you in the gladiatorial arena. There's a picture with an arrow pointing towards the castle, as almost if it's to say she's here. And then you see another picture of that little ball of wax, and you see a picture of an orc with plugged up ears.
Okay.
Okay?
Alright.
That's all you see in this little pictogram. And Doll gets really excited, and then you guys keep walking. We come to our next fork in the road.
You okay? Yeah, fine.
We come to our next fork in the road. Hello, Vanquish. Welcome, everybody. As we get to this next fork in the road, you can either go left or right.
We went left last time.
Would you feel better if we just went right this time?
Yes, thank
Okay.
You sort of put your hand out, and I think that's hard skin. Oh my god, I'm so glad. Okay.
Oh no.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we
You
just
know
said
what?
left.
I turned the tornado around and we're going left.
We get
surrounded until
we get to our a little path where you sort of like go off to the right, and as you go around to the right, you walk in, and right apparently, we go to the right, and as we go, we see this circular sort of alcove. This circular alcove has what looks to be palish statues of men around a circle. The path still leads forward, but there's palish statues of men in a semicircle around this space.
I was going to walk up and try to investigate one of the statues.
Give me an investigation check.
Be like, that's weird. It's 11?
You go up 11.
Okay. It's rock.
I think you take a finger and you poke it, and it's a little hard, but it's not rock.
They're men. Is that correct?
They're men. As you look around the area, is anybody else going to investigate one of these statues?
How many of them are there?
Great question. As this slight fog seems to be obscuring just how many there are in the space, I'm going to say right now there's 4 on either side. 8 total.
Jesus.
I back up from the statue.
Okay.
And I like, it's kind of hard. It's not what you think it would feel like.
Spongy.
Yeah.
Grym's gonna walk over and just give it a tap with his fingers.
Give me an investigation check.
It feels spongy, doesn't it?
That's gonna be that's a 10. It's probably still spongy.
That's still a little spongy. You just kind of poke this thing, you're looking around. It feels like you're poking, like, I don't know.
Are they on a platform of any kind?
They are on a platform. It feels like you're poking a mushroom or something like that. Like it's a spongy material.
Okay, I'm going to try to cast Detect Thoughts on one of the statues.
Okay.
Because if they're thinking, I can detect their thoughts. But if it's like
sure,
thinking creatures you can't see, you can also detect.
Which one are you
creatures
casting it on?
can't
Give me a number
necessarily
1 through 8.
See. I want to see if it's an area effect or if it's a specific thing.
Here's the deal with Detect Thoughts. You can change it if you want to. So you've got it directed towards a certain area.
Any one creature you can see within 30 feet.
You cast a spell. Each turn until the spell ends, you can focus your mind on any other creature you see within 30 feet of you. If it has an intelligence of 3 or lower, it does speak the language, the creature is unaffected.
All right.
So you learn the surface thoughts.
Okay. So I'm going to make sure that I'm going to go up to one and make sure that it's one because I don't know if they're different.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
one of the ones that feels spongy.
Okay.
That feels
Yeah, you walk up to the first one that everybody's sort of been poking.
Okay.
And it's on this sort of stone pedestal that seems to have a marker at the bottom of it. And you cast Detect Thoughts.
Anything?
The first thing you hear is, hello? Kill me, please. God, can you hear me? Hello, kill me, please. Come on, please, God, please.
Hey, we're here to help you. I'm going to start talking and hope that it changes the thoughts.
Okay.
Because it lasts
Nothing.
for 1 minute.
Nothing.
We're here
Just,
to help.
please, God. Oh my God, please.
Can we help you in any way?
They're alive. They don't have their eyes crossed out. Kill me, God, kill me, please. So long, so very long.
Guys, there's something in here, but it's not responding to anything I say. It's just saying kill me and hello and something about eyes crossed out but not there. And
you said there's markers on the bottoms.
Yeah, as you look, you bend down. Dull, you can't read, but you're like, hey, there's a marker on the bottom.
I'll check them out.
Since I'm right there, yeah, I'm looking at it too.
Yeah. This one says the first Joker.
I'll move on to the
it
next
says
one.
the first Joker, like
The
written out in words.
first Joker.
Okay, what do the other ones say?
As you make your way down the line, it's got the second Joker. This one's a humanoid that looks somewhat similar to the first one, but he's got just different facial features. You almost can detect a familial thing, and you get the same sort of like you know, it'll be over soon. 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 And it's like, you're doing fine. 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 It's just this constant sort of like prattle, almost insane prattle.
Okay, we're going around the circle.
Yeah. You've got a total of 8 jokers.
So up to the 8th joker, and it's all
And a plaque
duplicates
for
of the same thing.
And a plaque for the 9th one, but nobody's standing in that spot.
Having seen like inside the courtroom, like, I mean, I'm sure there'd be a gesture or a joke of any kind, like, you know, in there at all. Like, would I have seen that? I mean, aside from the Queen and Red Jack and.
Am I familiar with the Joker?
Give me a history check. At advantage.
Nat 20.
Woo!
Okay.
Nice.
So, when you were coming up in the guard school, the Joker was essentially the boogeyman. The Joker was supposed to have been the same person from long ago, and he was a guard that was very close to the original Queen of Hearts. This guard began to see that the Queen was changing, and that she was going bad. And this Joker decided to break away from the deck. The captain of the guards began to form a rebellion. And the Joker is now talked about in hushed terms. They don't know how he's lived as long as he's lived, but the Joker is supposedly still around. Still youthful, still killing guards that get a little uppity, but it's always one at a time, and it's always in the quiet of the night. And the first Joker is apparently very much still alive and up and running.
I don't like this.
Do you share this information with us?
Yes.
Okay.
As well as I can.
Do you want me to try to release one of them? I don't know if it'll work, but I can try.
And how do you go about releasing one of these?
Well, I figured there's some sort of a magical spell on it, and we can just get rid of the magical spell. Maybe we can release one. Talk to him.
Maybe it's
Well, how'd they get in the statue anyways?
maybe it's the pedestal.
Try to take him off the pedestal.
What else is in this room?
You look, it's just a entryway. It's a
There's no way.
crossroads. There's a way to walk through. I mean, this is almost like a here's a quick like a miniature garden amidst this large garden with all of these. Give me insight, Dull, just for the hell of it, as you sort of like look around this space. You're trying to figure out what it is.
That's 14.
It's a trophy room.
With the talk of the pedestal and stuff, Bo's gonna walk over and see if where his feet and the pedestal meet, if they're separated or if they're together.
Yeah, you sort of get down and you sort of like brush off the feet and stuff like that. You see the shoe, which is still the same sort of material, and there is a spike that has been jabbed through each foot.
Oh. Well, that was like that.
You want to try taking the spice out?
What if we just walk through?
Well, I don't know. Based on the first people that we saw, it seems like this place is not a place full of evil people. It's a place full of people who are trapped. And we may not be able to save them all right now, but we can at least save the ones we can and then maybe come back later.
But this doesn't make any sense. There's only one Joker.
Well, maybe there wasn't. Maybe one by one they're here and they're being replaced.
But isn't like the Joker just like a title?
I would say at this point in the evening, you see a whole bunch of fireworks. As
I immediately hit the floor.
Yeah, as the festivities, it's blues and reds and greens and stuff like that sort of echo out, and Dull sort of hits the ground.
Oh, Del, it's okay. It's just fireworks. It's just loud bang, bang.
No.
Grym's gonna go over and cover Dull's ears with his hands instead.
Yeah.
And just kind of like, hey, it's alright. Just breathe, you're okay.
Perception check.
12.
You don't say anything.
Let me have my invisible friend help, okay? And that way you can walk. I'm gonna get the unseen servant to put his hands over her ears.
Yeah, Dull, you feel somebody sort of like give you a hug and sort of tap you on the shoulder, and what they do is they sit on your ears like almost like a piggyback ride, and they just put an ear there, and then like you feel like the fingertips like try to give you a little scalp massage as well. Like,
It's okay,
like,
he's my
it's a very,
invisible
like-
helper.
Yeah, that's good. It blocks out the sound of the.
Do you think we should just press on then, or?
I think we should at least try, but we shouldn't stop here long. So maybe try taking out the spikes, try releasing one of them. If it doesn't work, we just try going.
All right. I'm gonna start pulling one of the spikes.
I'll pull out the other.
Strength check. This may not be within your wheelhouse.
He's gonna.
I'm terrible
Well, Bo's
at
gonna prep himself. So if this guy.
What number are we doing? Just for funsies. 1 through 8.
I say we either go 1 or 8. Like go for the original, maybe 1.
7.
You're doing 7.
Okay,
Perfect.
7, then I'll go with
Strength
7.
check from the turtle, please.
Bo's gonna stand
That's 11.
behind the 7th Joker. So if this guy dashes, he's gonna try to grab him.
And that is an 11 minus 1 for me, which is a 10.
10. Yeah. You feel the stake move a little bit, but it's not budging. It doesn't seem to be moving all that much.
Bo, you want to give it a try?
Yeah, I'll give it a swing. What the hell?
Okay. Bo, give me a strength check.
Come on, Potion, don't lay me down. Ooh, 16 plus 7 is 23.
Okay, you pull the spike out, and as you pull one of the spikes out on the left foot, you see a little bit of color start returning to the area. It starts small at the foot, and then, you've got this sort of blackened spike in your hand.
He's just gonna kind of put it in the lawn for a moment. And
Okay.
Kind of keep it there.
Yep, 1 foot's free.
Try the other one.
Yeah, he's gonna go for the second
Give
one.
me a secondary strength check.
It's good goes.
17?
17. Second spike comes out. The color starts returning to the foot.
Thank you, Potion.
Is there anything else
Same
holding
thing,
him
I
down? Something in hands or anything else?
Nope. You guys wait a bit of time, and then there's you watch as color begins to move its way up the legs to number 7, and then up the body as more and more color sort of returns to this area, and you see the color reach up. The color returns to the face, and there's a
Hi.
Hello. We're here to help you.
And he looks over and sees the spikes, and he looks over at you. And he looks in his on his person, and he like is searching every pocket and sort of like backing up with his wall to the green around him, and he can't find what he's searching for.
What are you looking for?
Do you have the card? That's my voice. That's my.
Easy, buddy. It's alright.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
How'd you get here? What's your story? There's 7 other
And
people
as
here
you're
who want
watching,
help.
he starts to slowly age faster and
Oh,
faster.
no.
The hair gets white. The skin starts getting wrinkly and stuff like that. And his hands are. He looks down at his hands as they start to age, and he was like, The queen is. She's still in power.
Yes. Would they want us to release them?
He reaches down to his foot and takes a shoe off, and he finds a card in it. And it's a Joker card. He sort of like laughs. Good job.
He's dead.
He's dead.
I'm gonna take the card and look at it.
Yeah. As you take the card and look at it, there is a sound of as one of the Minotaur come around. As you give me the card, give me an investigation check.
I'm gonna take the spikes, wrap them up in a satchel, and stick it in the satchel.
3.
Yep. You've got a Joker card.
Great.
Yeah, you'll take some time to look at it. One of the Minotaurs comes around the corner and says, "Help!
Help you?
They come."
They who?
He looks over. He doesn't really look. He sort of like points in the area where the people are spiked, and then sort of brings a hand up. As he traces a hand up to where you see the person was spiked, as you look up, there is a flower that has bloomed at the top of the like almost like a straight line from like blue roses. And then as he sort of points in that direction, he sort of looks back and he looks down at his hand and looks at you and says, "Time."
Okay, time for what?
Thank you.
I give time.
He's given us time.
You don't understand any of this.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, 'cause they speak abyssal, I
And
forgot. I'm sorry.
he claps you on the shoulder and feels the shell and was a little freaked out. And then turns back around and grabs the club and screams. And as he screams, he goes charging back off in the direction, putting another hand up on the wall and tracing a trail of blood back the way he came.
So this I don't know how to explain it out of character, like Sauron's eye.
So imagine green.
Yeah.
And then a little ways past that, right in that spot he was standing, blue roses have suddenly bloomed all the way to the top of the hedge. So that if you were looking down or looking at it, you would now see a line of blue roses up in the top.
Apparently he's given us time to do something because they're coming. I didn't get who there was, but I suspect that has something to do with it.
How long did it take him to pull those spikes?
It took a bit of time. I mean, I would say, it took about a minute each.
Oh, okay.
As he sort of worked. That roll was a collective, like trying to get those spikes out.
Is it something we should release all of them then?
I don't think that we have that much time.
We're gonna kill them all if that's the case.
But perhaps, well, I mean, he didn't seem unhappy to be released. Perhaps number 8, the one who's most recent, maybe he won't age so much. Maybe he can come help us and
This
give us some
isn't our
information.
mission. We're supposed to find the thing.
You've got a point. Like we're on the clock.
This is gonna take forever.
Okay, well, we can just go. I was
We'll
just
come
thinking we
back.
might have some extra help from the last one, but let's go.
Yep. You sort of look back at this area as you hear the screams echoing forth from this Minotaur who sort of turned the corner. As you do, you sort of move past, I imagine, right down this sort of clearing, right? Like through the opening. As you do, you come to another sort of turn where you get to an area and you turn and you make your way forward. As you walk forward, you've entered the center of the hedge maze. 2 other paths are now permanently closed off to you guys, but I'm glad you found the Jokers. As you enter this area, there is a large, once again, it is the large heart-shaped sort of cut into the ground, but this heart shape is much larger. It's almost as if the maze itself is bigger on the inside, or perhaps you're smaller. Size is a funny thing in Wonder. So you look around at this area, and in the center of this area is a steel cage. And standing in the steel cage is a man who's not quite a man. He's got long white hair, he's got long ears, and is sort of pacing back and forth and looking at his watch. And he goes, "Well, you're a little late." But that's fine. Quickly now, please. Can we the cage before she wakes up?
Ghrym, as you see me start walking over, like, Willem?
I'm gonna grab you.
Yeah.
Remember, they're keeping him in here for a reason.
But we were also need to get him out though as well.
Yes, it's true. You do need to get him out. That is a good thing. That is a very, very good thing.
We also gave our word.
You also gave your word.
How do you open this?
I want to check for traps because I probably have opened the thing.
Give
like
me
this
a
before.
check for traps.
Okay.
As you search for them.
As we come into the entrance of the end, Bo's gonna take one of the spikes, put it in, like, kind of trap it up. So if someone comes behind us, they're gonna hit that spike.
Okay. All right. Do you do it face up?
No, so spike up. So they're gonna
Spike
step on
up. Okay.
Is that considered rough terrain?
Is that investigation?
Yeah.
Considered a trap.
9. No
It's gonna
12s.
stop anyone coming behind us.
Guys,
Guys, are we doing this?
good news.
There are no traps.
Grym's gone.
Yes?
You take a few steps forward, and then there's the green grass changes to be more mushrooms. Like surrounding the cage is just this area of mushrooms. It's almost like the whole area that you've seen in the garden is green, but circling the cage is mushrooms. Do you keep going?
Bo's gonna go through mushrooms.
You're like, I don't know. As the mushroom is released, a cloud of spores enters up. I don't think you need to breathe, which is very good. But she is going to wake up.
Now, would it count that if does this count as difficult terrain?
This does not count as difficult terrain. But as you walk forward, you release a cloud of spores into the air, and this form that seems to be at the one of the side areas seems to awaken from the wall. She walks forward. Her hair is made up of sort of this fungal cap. As she points a hand forward, this skeletal hand that seems to be part human and part sort of orangey mushroom, this large figure makes its way out of the hedge wall, and we are going to go ahead and roll for initiative, please.
It's my kind of party!
Yeah, here we go, gang. It's time to duel. Nat 20. Hang on, I'm going to roll for her.
Great.
And I got to roll for somebody else as well.
I really hope that I get more
As a figure comes running in through the maze, and we're gonna see. Actually, let's see if she. She's not gonna step on the spike.
Oh my God.
Unfortunately, sorry. As this female figure comes running in as well. Cool.
Shot.
Oh, they both rolled the same.
It's
thing.
worth the
Great. Guys, give me 20 to 25 for initiative, please.
20.
20.
You don't have a plus for initiative?
Well, it's 26, but.
Yeah, but
you
would
get
say
the
that.
plus.
Yeah, 26.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
22.
20 to 50. 22.
22.
Okay. Texas. That's Texas. Who's up? 20 to 15. No 20 to 15. 15 to 10.
13.
12.
14.
Roll off. 14.
Wait, I got 13.
13, 12, 14.
12, 13, 14.
Oh, I'm aware.
Oh no.
Wait, roll up? Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Of all the people that you would roll off against.
14.
14.
Using this one?
What'd you get, buddy?
Added.
You got what?
Oh, it's
Just a straight
13.
roll.
13.
Another 13?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So you're going first. And then we got our portal. And then to 0.
Hi.
Where'd you get 0?
5.
Yeah, boy!
Bring it up the
Booyah. Okay, Ghrym.
Finally, at the punchline.
Right now, all you see is this sort of menacing shape that is walking forward towards all of you. She seems to be made of mushroom. She does not look of this earth.
So then what I'm going to do is, I'm going to roll it in first one. So I'm going to take my Vorpal Sword and attack with that first, but that's...
Okay, give me attack rolls, please.
Okay, that's going to be a 16 to hit.
Okay, 16 does not hit.
Damn, okay. Then I'm going to go with my dagger and just see if I can just try to...
Yeah. Give me another attack roll then.
Shit. That's going to be a 9 to hit.
No, 9 does not hit. You sort of make these sort of like attacks towards her, and for some reason, as you hit her up, you seem to be carving off parts of her that seem to grow back as they reform. Texas.
Okay, I need more time to think. I am going to, for right now, I'll do a double Eldritch Blast.
Oh, okay. Give me 2 attack rolls as you make double Eldritch Thank you, Aquaboost Bender, for subscribing with Twitch Prime. Anybody can do that, and that helps out the channel so much. Thank you, buddy.
The first hit is a 14.
14 does not hit.
The second one is another 14.
14 does not hit.
How close am I to her?
You are about 30 feet away from her as she begins to make her movement towards all of you.
Can I get a little bit further away?
Yeah, you can make your way around, and we'll say you're going to use your
Then
entire
I'm going
movement
to use
speed.
I'm going to use my Misty Step.
Misty Step?
Oh, hang on a minute. No, I don't want to use up that spell slot.
Okay.
No, instead of Misty Step, I'm just going to use my movement to move around. I want to separate myself from the group. a
Got
little
it. Texas, you sort of separate yourself just a tiny bit. Bo.
Alright. We're just gonna go all out with it. Bo's like, finally I get to hit something.
Yeah.
So he's gonna go for the unarmed strike, and then I'm gonna go ahead and blitz it with Fury of Blows.
Do it. Give me 3 attacks right now, buddy. As you see Bo go.
That's a 14, a 12, and a 15.
Unfortunately, those do not hit Bo as you're sort of like. They don't seem to be landing any punches or anything of that sort. Yep. Bo, it was a good move. Dull.
If it pleases everyone, I would like to rage.
Rage away.
Thank you so much.
Good madam.
Thank you very much.
So formal, I like that.
Okay, I'm going to
Just a little man.
put my warhammer twice, please. That's gonna be that's a 16, and then that's gonna be 29 nat.
20 hits.
Beautiful.
Roll some damage, please.
Thank God, someone did it.
You're welcome.
She's a bit of a beast. So, yeah.
No, it's just one.
That's still.
Great. Let me just get this all together. Sorry.
That's all right. As she's rolling that, the next group up is both this elven woman who turns the corner, sees the spike in the ground, and I will say burns her reaction to sort of avoid stepping on this spike, which is jutting out of the ground. As she moves forward.
Wait. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
That second one's gonna be 18.
18 still hits.
18 both? That means both of my attacks hit.
Oh, the first one?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, then they both hit.
Both hit. Beautiful.
Yes,
Lovely.
just barely.
Okay.
Roll damage on both, please.
It's been a while since a barbarian.
No, that's okay. Rage out.
The elven woman is the mushroom woman, or there's
Nope,
two
there's
different-
another elven woman that sort of turns the corner and makes her
Player
way
eight,
into the area. She's got an eye patch on. Ghrym might recognize her. As she makes her way in, she's part of a group of people that besieged your home.
Son of a...
You're damn right.
Wow.
You remember because you actually were pretty close to Dull during this. This woman pulled out a clicker, and as she pulled out a clicker, there was a click click, and Dull dropped her weapon and stood.
That is 17.
17 damage?
Yep.
All right. This fungal form takes 17 points of damage as you see Dull sort of and sort of smash into this thing. There's 2 blows, and she is knocked backwards a little bit. Okay. All right. That's her move. I will say the elven woman comes forward, and as she does, she turns the corner and sees all of you and looks over at Dull and just sort of smiles a little bit. We'll use her bonus action to take a small device out of her pocket and will draw her rapier. Dull is in combat with this. Who hasn't taken combat? Texas moved away. I think it's just the 2 of you who haven't really moved forward at all. Zero. This woman's going to look over at you and see your sort of armor and the sort of smile and make a rapier attack against you.
Oh.
That is a 19 to hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's going to do 8 points of damage as she takes this rapier and sort of thrust it outward towards you, and you immediately recognize who this is. Yep, that is her turn. The mushroom woman, sort of reeling from the effects that happened, is going to make an attack against somebody that hit her. She's going to make an attack against Dull. Dull, that is a 16 to hit.
Oh, just misses. Doesn't
Just miss it.
it?
Okay, that's the first one.
Money.
That'll be a 15 against you, Ghrym.
No, yes. Yes, that is.
Okay, that hits. Okay, so that's going to be 15 points of bludgeoning damage as this thing sort of hits you, as it takes a pod out from behind its back and sort of like smashes it down to where you are. And then,
Oh, that was stupid of me.
I was like,
I don't have my armor on because I didn't put it on.
so that doesn't hit you.
If I put on, it goes to 17.
Yeah, that doesn't hit. Okay.
I took it off. And I got
Okay, this is a 26 to hit.
I was like,
This one hits. So that does the points of damage to you, buddy. 15.
15 hits.
The 26, I'm going to assume hits, and then he's going to make an attack. She's going to make an attack against you, Bo. That's 2 on the dice, so a 15.
No.
15. Okay, got it. All right. That is
She
her
can't hit me, I can hit her.
turn.
Alright.
Cool. All right. That is her turn for right now. Dillian.
Dillian is just going to go, this is much more than I intended. Oh, and he's just going to cast Banishment. So charisma save versus 16.
Ooh.
Wait,
On the fungus, the giant.
Monster? Oh, hell yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, let's go, fam.
What sort of save is this?
Charisma.
Wouldn't you know?
16.
on the fungus.
Oh no.
I rolled a 4 on the first one, and a 7 on the second one.
Oh jeez.
And she's got a +7 to charisma.
14.
14.
14 was the DC.
16.
She vanishes.
Oh! Yeah!
All 304 of her hit points. With advantage on the save.
No, that was.
And she is gone for a period of time, and there is a look of fear on this elven woman's eyes. That was Zillian's turn. Would you like to do anything with your bonus action?
Panic a little. Because we gotta hold that for a minute.
Panic
Or
is
she
a
comes
free
back.
action.
I'm fully aware of that.
Yeah, well, they.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. Cool. 0.
Shield Faith on myself as a bonus action.
Got it.
And then I'm gonna take 2 attacks with my Sunblade at this woman that stabbed me.
Sure.
So.
Yep.
So that's a 15 and a 17.
Okay. The 15 doesn't hit. The 17 hits.
Okay.
And you see as she comes forward, roll damage for me as you guys watch. It's like this blade that Zero's got sort of ignites with an ungodly
8 points of radiant damage.
It looks like she's going to take 8 points of damage, but she sort of shifts her weight to one side and doesn't seem to take the full amount of that. But you still did some damage to her. Okay. Good job. And she sort of screeches out in pain.
She stabbed me. I stabbed her with a sword.
Ghrym.
Okay, so how close is the elven woman to me?
The elven woman is a little ways back. She's back near the entrance, so there are some people gathered around her. But you do hear a hello, still here. I mean, take your time. It's fine. It looks like there are things happening, but if you want to,
I'm gonna make my way back to the cage.
hello. Yes. Your name.
Ghrym.
Pleasure to meet you.
Will.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, no, that's
William.
very full. William is fine. Yes.
Sure.
Yes. Well, the full title is William Hervey Cornwallis, Sovereign Protector of Overton. But we're friends now. You can call me Harvey.
Harvey, great.
Harvey, yes.
Fantastic. Harvey, key. This lock, anywhere.
Yes. Aha. Do you have one?
Is it enchanted? This lock.
Oh, no, I'm not sure. Should I check?
I'm just gonna. Oh God, I don't want to do this.
Yes.
What if it fails? I'm gonna grab my dagger and I'm gonna just try to get in there and just see if I can.
Yes, a magical dagger. Yes, good. Oh, yes, I'm all about this.
So yeah.
Okay, as you do that, I will say that's your turn. As you start going,
is that a sleight of hand?
Give me a D20 and add your dex as you just go dagger. Got this. You have no experience picking locks or
plus
anything.
my dex, that's going to be 12. I'm sorry, not 12. 22. 22. That was a huge number gap.
Yes!
18 plus 4.
There
so.
was a 2.
There was a 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's hard.
There was
22.
2 of them, actually.
It's the off season, guys.
Harvey looks over at you and he goes, listen, I don't think that's going to work because most people have lock-picking tools and then there's a click and the gate swings open and they say, well, and he stands there. That's great. That is your turn, Ghrym.
I did it, guys.
We did it. World's best cup of coffee. Texas.
Elven woman is still there, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna look over at her and say, "What do you call a mushroom that makes music?" I'm gonna wait and say, "A decomposer," and I'm gonna cast Tasha's hideous laughter.
Wow. What does it say for Tasha's hideous laughter?
16.
She makes her save, even though the joke was really good. I will. Oh my God. That was your.
But I'm gonna use my bonus action to
do what?
inspire Dull. Oh,
Alright.
it's Dull.
Get it.
God bless Texas in my
I got friends in high places. You're my friend, Dull smashes all your faces. Oh, I got friends.
Yummy.
In high places.
So you got
You
a
are,
D8.
you are so inspired, doll.
Oh, you have no idea.
The stars at night get a little brighter. Bo, you're up.
So, Bummiest Lady is gone.
For now.
For now. So Bo's were like, okay, another person hit. He's gonna turn around and go after the Elven woman.
Yes, do it. As you sort of run forward and
so,
then.
she's within 55 feet, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Cool. Just making sure. So I'm gonna burn 2 key points this turn, and my basic.
Okay.
My first hit's gonna go do a stunning strike if it hits, and the second one's gonna be another 30 blows.
Okay, go for it. Give me an attack to hit.
I've got one's a 26.
26 hits.
The other one's a 23.
Okay, what is the save for stunning strike?
It is 13.
13 wisdom.
14 con save. Excuse me.
Con. She is stunned.
Boom!
All attacks against her are going to have advantage as this woman just stops moving and sort of freezes in place.
All attacks have advantage.
All attacks have advantage on
And
her.
then
As she freezes in place, as Bo just goes forward and goes like this, he goes, "Hey, I got jokes too." Boom, 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 boom. And like it hits these like pressure points on her, and then she, you see these sort of ripples that run across with it, and she is stunned and standing in place.
So that one was the 16 that hit. The other one was the 23 that hit, and then a 16.
Mm-hmm.
Does a 16 hit?
16 hits.
Okay, so.
No, 16 does not hit.
16 does not hit.
Yeah, but
Okay,
you would make these attacks at all at advantage, the flurry of blows.
Ooh, that one was better.
Okay.
That one was much better.
Alright.
The second one, so that would be a 29 then.
Yeah.
So the first one did 13 damage. The
Okay.
second one did 9 damage, and then the third one did 11 damage.
She's looking, yeah. She, bop, 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 bop. Yeah. Bo, good, oh God. Doe.
She's got a look on her face.
I would like to also make this a frenzy.
A frenzied rage, yes.
So that'll be
Okay.
60, 20.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
60.
Oh man, okay, so we're gonna take this one. And then we're gonna take this one. And we're gonna take this one. So those are all gonna be, that's gonna be 21.
Hits.
That's gonna be a 27.
Hits.
That's gonna be, math's real hard.
Is it
It's
higher?
over 18. Yeah, that one hits.
Okay, that
Yeah,
hits as
that's
well.
gonna hit
Yeah,
you.
Dell
Alright,
sort
so-
of walks forward
excuse me, I
and
got some math
beats
for you.
this woman. Roll damage for me, Dull.
Alright.
The greatest.
Not even sure.
Greatest. Yeah, seriously.
Hold on, I gotta get my calculator up.
That's right. As you're coming up with that, I will say that the cavalry comes in as you see 3 half-orcs sort of turn the corner, weapons raised, and make their way to where this woman is standing and see Dull sort of beating into her and begin to look into the space. Dillian, you're up next.
We're just gonna have like a fist.
You should probably cast a spell, like just for fun.
Yeah, I was thinking about
cast
it.
another concentration spell.
24 points of damage.
Yeah, 24 points of damage. Cool. Total for 3 attacks. Okay, cool. Yeah, she gets battered around a little bit, and Dell's just sort of panting there as these 3 half-orcs come into the fray and sort of turn the corner and see her fighting, and then they begin to look about.
Bodis holds up his fist for like a fist bump from Dull.
From Tull, yeah, like the...
She's a little busy. She is. That's probably not
yeah,
a very good idea right now.
She's like panting and you're like, nice, and then she doesn't do anything and you're like...
Get it?
Bo's got
She
this.
is hulked out, red eyes.
Dillian, what are you doing?
Not
Dylan's
laser
gonna
focused
see
right now.
The other 3 half-orcs and just go, oh, no. And he's going to pull into a shell. And that's my action and my turn.
Cool. 0. 3 half-orcs enter into the fray.
Alright, I'm still fighting her. I'm going to cast Branding Smite as a bonus action, and then I'm going to take 2 attacks with
God,
my...
she is just getting wrecked.
Yeah. Alright.
So many melee-centric people.
So, taking these 2.
Ray, we're glad to have you.
Okay. First, I have a nat 20.
Okay.
And then I have a 24.
This is perfect. This is perfect as you. We are going to introduce the new rules here. I loved those cards, and we still plan on using them. But here's the deal. I have found a new way to handle crit system, and I want to test it out. And this seems like a good time to do that. I need you to go ahead and roll another d20.
Another d20.
Right.
Okay.
1 through 11, you crit as normal. 12 through 19, you get double critical damage.
Roll a 3.
3. So right now you're getting crit as normal.
Crit as normal, okay.
If you had rolled another nat 20 on top of that, you would have done triple crit damage.
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
Bosses are getting bigger.
All right, cool. But you still get double damage on this.
I get double damage?
Yeah, you still get your damage plus
a crit.
plus double damage.
So the first attack, everything's doubled.
Yeah.
Man, let's.
Okay, so altogether that's going to be 46 damage.
46 damage. She's looking hurt. She's looking hurt. It is the half-orc's turn. They sort of come around the corner and they see her sort of like beaten to a bit. One doesn't react. The one that talked to you doesn't do anything, but the other 2 run forward and start beating on Dull. So that is going to be a 24 to hit.
Yes.
Okay. That is 15 points of damage as this thing just goes whack, and it brings up this giant sort of warhammer against you. The other one is going to make an attack against 0. That is 17 to hit? Does that get you?
The bonus thing was concentration, so I dropped my Shield of Faith, so now mine's 16. So
16, yeah, 16 gets you. Okay, so that's going to be
worth it though.
18 points of damage as this thing sort of like swings into you and does that for its turn. I don't think they have any desire to go at the thing that just went into a shell and like and hit there as the other one is sort of like frozen in fear. He's actually going to walk forward and start. He's going to walk forward, and this will provoke an attack of opportunity from you, and not you. So you 3.
I see.
And he's going to start going through the pockets of this elven woman who's standing still. The one that didn't react before.
Is this the
So
one I
2
know?
of the half-orcs started like beating on you and you.
him.
This is the one you knew and starts digging through her pockets.
As soon as it happens, I yell, "Don't attack him!"
Okay. Yeah. He starts digging through her pockets. And
I know exactly what
he
he's
thinks he
doing.
finds something. He grabs something from out of her pockets. That's all you see him do. Ghrym.
So I'm gonna rush over to where Dole is and just go after the elven woman. Like, if she's still up.
She's down.
If she's
she's up.
Oh wait, she's back
yeah,
down.
she's just.
She
she's
never
not-
went down. She looks bad, but she's not.
We've got
We're
advantage.
taking advantage. Okay, sorry.
She's just not knocked down right.
So yeah,
She's
I'm gonna go
stunned.
after her
She's
because I
stunned.
got a
Got
personal
it.
vendetta against her
That's
for
Yeah.
No, she's
Dole,
just stoned.
Okay.
Dole's sake.
Take a little nap, nap.
I have a personal thing. She's
You've got advantage.
You have advantage because she's stunned.
You're
Good,
welcome.
I was in that one. That is gonna be a 17.
17 hits. No. 17 hits.
Okay.
That's the other one.
Thank Jesus.
That was my fungal queen.
That's the one. That's going to be a 15.
She is on death's door.
Okay. And then with my other attack, then I'm going to do the 4. So let's hit that.
I'm just gonna. I can roll this twice.
That's going to be 24.
To hit?
Yeah. Wait. Yeah, 24.
24 hits. Roll damage.
Okay, and the damage is going to be that's going to be a 3 plus 6 is 9. So that's 9 plus another 7 points of necrotic damage from using my dagger.
You're using your dagger. Okay, are you adding the stuff, because this is 2 weapon fighting,
Right,
or
so
are you
I'm
getting
using
like
the-
2 attacks?
Yeah, the vorpal sword and then going with the dagger.
Okay, if you're doing 2 attacks, they need to kind of be with the same, like the 2 weapon fighting is basically using your bonus action, and you don't add your strength
Oh, okay.
modifier to that.
Okay, well,
I will say that was an attack with the vorpal sword.
Okay.
Okay? That being the case, how do you want to do this?
Hey!
So if I'm gonna if she's still standing, then no one bleeps with dull, and I'm just gonna grab it and just go straight across the neck.
Yeah, the sword enters and sort of cuts through this area, and as it does, it enters into the skin, and there's like a gurgle that comes from her, and it slices her in half. As the vorpal sword comes in, it goes, nobody messes with dull, and you drag it down like this, and as it does, it cuts a diagonal swath, and like the top half falls forward and the bottom half falls back as she like sort of lays in the ground, and you hear a sorry, I thought we were all clapping. We're not clapping. That's fine. No, that's on me. I'm sorry. And William the rabbit sort of Harvey just sort of stands off in the corner. The 2 orcs are furious and sort of looking about the area. Texas, we're still technically in initiative order right now. These 2 orcs are super confused and sort of pissed at the situation.
I'm holding my action to see if they attack.
Okay, Bo.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you holding?
What I am, if they attack, I'm just gonna throw the Eldritch Blast at them.
Okay.
But I want to.
See
I
if
know
they
what I
attack.
want to do, but I don't know if they're aggressive or not.
Yeah.
Oh, I kind of want to do the same thing. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to, I'm just going to punch I'm going to punch one of the orcs twice.
Yeah. You're like, we should probably wait and see about Papa!
Yeah. You guys, we should really think. No, never mind.
Give me 2 attacks. Are you punching 2 of them? Or you're going like, you're getting up close and you're like,
Yeah.
1,
Can
2?
I punch both 2 of them?
Yeah. That big
Just to
punch.
send like a message.
Swing away, Meryl. Yeah.
Well,
These are not at advantage.
these are not an advantage, but I just rolled for both hits.
Yes.
So one is a 13,
Okay.
and the other one's a 24.
24 hits.
And that's 10 points.
10 points.
10 points.
Yeah. Okay. Jillian.
I'm just gonna pop my head out for a quick second and cast Healing Word on Dole.
He's got the turtle head poking out. And he cast,
Is it a weed?
Healing Word.
Something about the nonsense for being a light cleric.
6 to 12. Rounds are 6 seconds, correct?
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
10 rounds in a minute.
Yep. So you're 18 seconds in.
We're just sitting here.
Oh, we get 40 seconds.
That's why I've stopped using key
Take
points.
8. Or you gain 8, rather.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's Dillian. 0.
You skip me.
Did I? Texas, Ghrym, Bo,
Me.
Del. Yep, your turn.
I'm going to speak in Orc
Okay.
and say she was my keeper. She abused me for years.
Who are you saying this to?
To the 2 orcs.
Okay, give me a persuasion roll. At disadvantage. They're a little frenzied at the moment, so give me a persuasion at disadvantage here.
Looks at bloody knuckles.
That one's cocked. So that's... What was it? I'm sorry?
Persuasion.
So that's going to be 16.
I think they look at you and they're sort of confused because Bo just sort of punched the crap out of one of them, and
He's an idiot. It's fine.
She imprisoned us too. This is a test.
What do you mean?
She's not really gone. Like, she's watching.
Where is she?
And they sort of look at the ground and they're looking about. They're so beaten and.
I'm gonna pull out the paper
Yeah.
and say, "What does this mean?"
Okay. Okay, great. The paper's out.
Yeah,
Is
because
the
I'm looking
wax
straight
out
at-
as well?
Huh?
Wax out as well?
No, because it's written on there what it is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just the paper.
They look at the paper and they have no idea.
I look at Ven.
Ben,
Ven, what does this
Ben
mean?
is not paying attention to you. He's got the whatever he took out of her pocket out, and he's looking at the main entrance of the area.
Ven, look at me.
You better put it in your ears.
Me?
Put the wax in your ears.
Do my friends need it?
There's not enough. Put the wax in your ears.
Why do you have the clicker?
That's all he says.
Are we hearing this?
You're hearing, oh no, and then they're just sort of like yelling back and forth. If anybody speaks Orcish,
Is the unseen servant still plugging my ears?
he's still up on your shoulders, and
If-
I would think.
Yeah, because it lasts for an hour.
Yeah, so all of this is a tad muffled, but he's still holding on.
Right.
And
I look at Texas. Make him off. Get him off.
I get unseen servant off.
Wax
Cool.
in the ears.
Wax in the ears. That is your turn. That was Dillian. 0.
Seeing that she's trying to talk to them, I'm gonna power down my Sun Blade. And if it doesn't seem like they're gonna attack me, take a few steps back.
As you take a few steps back, there is the sound of thunder as the area gets swarmed. Through that main entranceway, a sea of battle-scarred and beaten orcs make their way, half-orcs make their way as the gladiatorial arena has been emptied forth into the maze as the queen goes to annihilate whatever threat was posed with extreme vengeance.
The spike's still there.
The spike is there, and I think it catches one of them in the foot, and they are raging and foaming at the mouth so hard that they don't notice.
Oh, man.
And as they swarm the area, the held action lets forth as... They managed to fit 47 of them, sort of spread throughout the area, spreading throughout the area using movement, and the held action of now goes off, and he clicks the clicker twice, and all of them freeze.
I'm gonna run straight back through the maze.
Yeah.
Towards
As
that
you start making your way forward back towards the maze, a giant horse sort of appears in the front area, and you recognize the puka.
Jump on.
Yeah. There's a movement as you jump on the puka.
Grabbing Harvey and making my way to the horse.
Harvey.
Do you move? No, you move at a regular speed. Okay, then I'm just gonna start running.
Yeah.
Following Dole.
Yeah. Everybody jumps on the horse. As you jump on the horse, and these orcs are sort of frozen there, you watch as the clicker falls from his hand and hits the ground, and the Red Queen makes her way into the central area, and she looks around
I'm gonna dismiss it at that point.
at the orcs, as the fungal queen reappears back in the spot, and both the queen and the fungal queen, both of equal height and equal stature, let loose a scream simultaneously, mirroring each other, each on either side, and all of the orcs in the glade drop dead. As you make your way over to the puka, and this swarm of fungal spores sort of makes its way about the area, and the orcs drop, all of them dead. And the puka shits on the ground and is running. And you're there again. It's that feeling of running, and you guys make your way back to this small town, fishing town, where this adventure all started, but a little closer to the outskirts of the beach, and you are actually by the water. And the puka stops and transforms back into the poet shirt. And I think he stops and he looks at all of you and he says, well, when I send you in to do a job, you really do a bang up job, don't you?
You could have been more prepared for that.
True, but I mean, couldn't you say that about everything? You could always be a little more prepared. I find that flying by the seat of your pants, you get a little bit more done. William, the debt is paid. We're done here. Do you understand? No more for me, and no more for you. Our time is done. And the sort of rabbit form sort of nods his head. Yes, yes, of course. Debt paid. And in full, plus some. Thank you. Thank you, Puka. And the Puka sort of nods. All right, then. Great job.
And is there a reward?
Yes. Oh, yes. I'm sure. Oh, not for me. No. I don't have a need for money. But yeah, you know what? In your time of greatest need, call out my name, and I shall appear to help you.
Just like that, just Puka.
I mean, if I'm around and I hear and I'm not busy, like currently with something, I'll show up. If I'm able. If there's not anything better to do, I'll probably show up.
So it's on a whim. We just trust that you could be there. Maybe.
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
And he's gone.
Great.
Cool.
Great.
Drinks.
Bo says drinks. The two of you, Bo starts heading back towards the bar. The dormouse, there's a portal that sort of opens in front of everyone, and goes, well, that seems like it was a quick adventure, and that you all managed to get your way out of it. Some interesting things happened at the castle this evening, but less of that and more of that probably later or tomorrow. There will be plenty of time for that tomorrow. So, are we ready to head back?
Well, Ghrym wants to talk to William about this debt.
Oh, yes, of course. But he will open the portal and sort of look at Dull and say, Dull, are you ready?
Hold on.
Yeah.
And I go up to Ghrym and hug him.
Big ol' hug back. Thanks, Dull.
I'll miss you.
I'm always gonna be around.
Me too. I just not probably here.
Just give her a hug.
The door opens. I imagine Dillian, if he so wishes. And
I want to ask who the usurper is. That's still bothering me. So.
Give me an insight check, Dillian.
17.
The dormouse looks at you and goes, where did you hear that name?
There were things in the maze.
Things?
I described them to him and what they were doing and what they told me.
The jokers are in the maze? How many were there?
There were 8 jokers, but there were 2 of the Minotaur-esque things.
There was 8 jokers?
Well, One of them died. There's 7 now.
There was 8?
There were. With an empty.
There weren't 9?
No.
Okay. The usurper is Hope. The usurper is, she's Hope.
Is that a name or the concept?
Oh, no, she's Wiley. She disappeared for a long time. But if her name is being whispered about, then that means she must be back. That would make sense. The Jabberwock is back, so we'll talk more about this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
The usurper. God, she's gonna be pissed. Okay. How did the queen look?
Big. Angry. And loud.
Angry? That's good. That's real good. Let me buy you guys some drinks at the bar. We can toddle off. I'll open another portal. Let's go to the bar. Drinks are on me. Can you describe in detail how angry she looked? And like the dormouse is just gonna walk forward and be like, "What color were her eyes?" Like he's just like walking forward next to you, Dillian, and like having you describe all of this. Okay.
All right, drinks, I guess.
Drinks. Woo! You stay behind with Harvey.
Yep.
And he looks over at you and he goes, "Well done, lad. That was amazing. Honestly, is this what you do? You just was that her? Like she seemed very angry.
She's kind of incredible, so.
She is. Oh God,
It's kind of amazing.
And then the voice, I can't even do the voice. Hello. It's just, oh my God. And she's so sweet and kind, and then she was like, blood, blood, blood.
I mean, it's you don't want to get on her bad side.
Hey, are you looking for others?
For others.
I'm alone in this world.
I know that all too well.
I can't pay you or anything, but I might be able to offer my services in different ways. I'm Harvey.
Ghrym.
Ghrym. It's rather grim.
It's when your dad has a sense of humor, I guess.
Ghrym, do you believe that people find you when it's the right time?
I suppose that anything's possible, considering.
Yes. Ghrym, do you know the story of wonder?
We live it. I take it in day by day, so whatever stories they have, it's...
Ghrym, I would like to share with you the story of the White Rabbit.
I'm listening.
I think you and I could work well together. Saving people, protecting people, because I have the bravery of a thimble, but I have the hindsight and the foresight to be able to help people. I've just never had the muscle to back it up. Are you looking for an apprentice?
You can always use an extra hand.
Could you teach me to be brave, to be the type of person to step into harm's way?
As long as you teach me to.
What on earth could I teach you?
Well, you seem to be more clever than I am. I mean, not as much as getting caught, but you seem to be clever enough, and I could always use more cleverness.
I'll teach you to be clever. All right? And he outstretches a hand, and there's a clasping of hands, and then all of a sudden, Ghrym looks a little lither. He looks a little taller, and his hair is a little bushier. But he has a new passenger. As Harvey has entered into the game, and Ghrym's shifter stats change to that of a rabbit. And we will dive into the mythos surrounding the White Rabbit and what special abilities have been unlocked based on your bravery and courage. As the adventurers here have helped Ghrym find a portion of himself. No longer the person looking for strength to hurt those that hurt him, but now looking to embrace his role as protector and realize that he needs no one to run alongside of him, that maybe it's time to lead the pack and protect others. As a part of him died and another part opened up. So, death. that is where we're going to end tonight's episode. As Del reaches catharsis, and the rest of the group, we learn a little bit about the usurper, who's this little bit of a pixie and was actually one of my first characters that I ever encountered for Wonderland. So it's going to be great to have her back in the thick of things. So thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. We have a coin to give away. This is the second 500 coin. Thank you so much, Icky, for tuning in. Cervanti, thank you. Yeah, don't forget to follow, subscribe. If you have Amazon Prime, you can also subscribe for free. And we love that, and it helps us out so much. In terms of that coin, make sure you have typed it in one time and one time only. Even a simple follow up in that corner, clicking that little heart helps us out so much. All right, here we go. Here's the coin for tonight. And the winner of tonight's Indigo Chameleon 500 coin, the second ever given out, is going to be Solaris. Solaris Nebula has won the giveaway for this evening. Thank you so much, Solaris. Solaris, do me a favor. Join our Discord if you haven't already. And then just go ahead and message me on Discord your address, and we will get things taken care of. So thank you so much, Solaris. Congratulations. We still have 3 more coins to give away. 3 more coins, and that is it. So Solaris, we'll get that to you ASAP. Congratulations. We love you guys. We'll see you soon. There's always a spot at our table for you, Indigo Connect. We will see you tomorrow for Wonder as we learn about the sordid, intriguing, fascinating destiny of Enwin. We'll see you soon. Bye.